Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Uncle Larry's Garage. I am your Uncle Larry. As it said right in there, please subscribe, tell your friends. Yes, I've got a cigarette in my hand. I haven't quit completely, but I'm trying. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about just my past. Kind of get you maybe a little caught up, some of those who don't know me that well or trying to get to know me again. I grew up with this kid, this guy. He went to high school with him, grade school, et cetera, et cetera. Got out of school in the early 70s, and he just couldn't find work in Indianapolis where we grew up. So he decided that he was going to move to Ohio. He had some friends, family that lived over there, so he thought he'd try that. So he moves over there. Probably didn't see him for 10, 12 years, and then just one day he showed back up and we got together. And keeping in mind, back in the 70s, there was a lot of this going on. Not that I know about that. I read about it, I think, somewhere. Anyway, so I told him, I said, hey, bro, so how was it in Ohio? He said, Uncle Larry. Yes, he called me Uncle Larry, too. And keeping in mind, he was doing a lot of this. He said, Uncle Larry, he said, I'll be honest with you, brother. He said, man, I can't remember if I was dating a girl from Eaton or eating a girl from... Must have been a good time. Speaking of dating, probably about that same time, disco era, little disco girls with the short skirts and everything. Ooh, lordy. There was this girl I was dating. Smoking hot. But we, nothing was going on, unfortunately, for Uncle Larry. And so she came to me one night after dating, I don't know, several months. And she said, Uncle Larry. Yeah, she called me Uncle Larry, too. She said, Uncle Larry, I wanted to tell you a joke about my vagina. I said, say what? She said, yeah. Well, skip it. You're never going to get it anyway. She wasn't lying. I felt dumb. Speaking of dumb, bada boom, let me do this. Speaking of dumb, thank you. I knew this guy from work, and back in the 80s when things started changing, policies at work, et cetera, employers were getting concerned about their employees. And this guy was so dumb that one night he told me he stayed up all night to study for a urine test the next morning. That's dumb. That is dumb. The other day, I'm sitting around and I thought, oh, Jesus Christ, I probably haven't paid the electric bill. So I get into the computer, sign into my account. And I guess it had been a while because they asked me to change my password. So, okay, no problem. Well, my password has been the same on almost everything I do. So I decided to really change it up. And I decided to make my password my penis. Clicked enter and came back and said, sorry, it's too short. If I had $1 for every, well, never mind. Late night the other night, I get a phone call, and good friend of mine, and he says, Uncle Larry, yeah, you guessed it, him too. He says, Uncle Larry, he said, I know your situation, I know what you're going through, your losses and the surgery and everything. He said, I really want to come over sometime and just help you out. He said, I want to come over and maybe help you cut your grass and catch up with some chores around the house. He said, I know you're struggling financially. He said, maybe I could take a look at your bills. We'll just spend the day together. And we hung up. And it was like 30 seconds later and the phone rings and it's Christy Brinkley. And then I woke up. And lastly, in effort, again, trying to slow down on these, in effort to get a little more healthy. I read this on the internet, so I know it's got to be true. But I read on the internet about this beer-only diet. So about 10, 12 days ago, I decided to try this. So I've been on a beer-only diet for the last 12 days. So far, so good. I've lost 7 days. So there you go, folks. Something a little bit different. Hope you found a little bit of humor in that. As always, God bless America. Thanks to the troops for covering our asses here and around the world. I am your Uncle Larry. I am out.